Social media and websites might show you where you want to stay. Sales, they tell you when to book. But they rarely tell you where you actually are. I'm Megan, and yes, I talk about Sandals and Beaches resorts. The weekly sales, the promos worth booking, and the ones you can skip. Room categories, upgrades, insider tips, and how to actually get the best value for your vacation. But a resort doesn't exist in a vacuum. It sits on an island with a story, shaped by history, culture, food, people, and moments you'll never find on a booking page. On Islands Uncovered, we go beyond the resort gates. We talk about the islands and the people that Sandals and Beaches call home. The legends, the flavors, the unexpected stories hiding just beneath the surface. Because the best trips aren't just well priced, they're well understood. This is where smart booking meets storytelling. This is where vacations feel more meaningful. This is Islands Uncovered. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Islands Uncovered. My name is Megan. I am the host and also the owner of Dare to Dream Travel, which focuses exclusively on helping you plan your next vacation to Sandals or Beaches resorts. Today is Thursday, so we are diving into the Weekly Sandals Sales Report, which means we're going to touch on the current promos and sales, the rooms that are on 777, and try to help you find the very best deal and understand all the promos that are happening right now. So obviously, we're coming off kind of a crazy week where we had a lot of rescheduling from the resorts in Jamaica that were supposed to open on May 30th that are now going to open in November and December of this year. We worked to get a lot of people rescheduled. Thankfully, everybody has been taken care of. Even though, this was unfortunate, Sandals has made it really easy for people to move properties or postpone their vacation. And I know that a lot of my clients got some really nice room categories out of this. So we're going to move on from that. We're going to focus on new things, up and coming trips and vacations, and we have a new sale to talk about today. So the semi-annual sale is over. We're now in what they are calling the Stay More, Save More sale with Sandals. So this is specific to Sandals. It's not for Beaches. I'm not going to talk about the sale at Beaches today just because I talked about it in depth last week, but they do have the Fall Fam Jam sale going on at Beaches. If you're interested in traveling to Beaches and curious about that sale, please reach out. I will be happy to provide you further information or go back and listen to last week's episode, the Weekly Sandals Sales Report from last week, where we dive into that. But today we're going to focus on Sandals because they have that new sale happening now. It's pretty clear from the name of how this one works. The longer you stay, the more of the savings you're going to get. And the savings is going to be already applied to the rates that you're seeing online. So if you do a search just to kind of Google and look up what something might cost, the savings from this sale are already going to be included. Now, there are no additional promo items that they're offering with this sale. So if you remember, the semi-annual sale had that $175 resort credit that I kept saying I really liked. So this is a good example to prove to you guys that I'm not just going to say that every sale is fantastic all the time for every reason. That is a reason why I really liked that sale and thought it was a great time to book, because you got that resort credit that you could use on a lot of different stuff. This sale doesn't have any resort credit or spa credit or anything tied to it, but it's a good sale if you are looking to stay a little bit longer. And we're going to talk about which resorts this is going to pay off for the most. So I do the hard part of reading the fine print. All of the resorts are included in this sale, but not all of them have the same amount that is taken off for the trips. So the highest you're going to get is $1,000 off. That is going to be at 6 of the Sandals properties, and it's going to be if you stay 7 or more nights, that's going to max out at $1,000 off. So those resorts that have the highest credits being applied, highest amount off your trip, are going to be Sandals St. Vincent, Sandals Royal Curacao, Sandals Grenada, both of the resorts in Barbados. So Sandals Barbados and Sandals Royal Barbados, and then Sandals Royal Bahamian. So These are the ones that you're going to get the highest credits from these sales. They do have amounts off for less nights, but 7 is where you max out at that $1,000 savings. Then most all of the resorts are going to start at 4+ nights where you're going to start to see this resort credit kick in. So you'll have different amounts for 4 and 5 nights and 6 nights and 7 nights. So it'll continuously go up. Stay longer, you save more money. But there are 4 properties where it starts at if you stay only 3 nights. And that's going to be Sandals Royal Bahamian, Sandals Ochi, Royal Plantation, and Negril. So that makes sense to me because those resorts are in Jamaica and the Bahamas. It's a closer trip to the United States. It's a shorter plane ride where you could potentially go down and just take a long weekend. If, I've done 3 nights in Jamaica before and in the Bahamas before, and it's been great. But you're probably not going to go all the way down to St. Vincent or Curacao or places like that that require a longer plane ride and only stay 3 nights. So this is where you're going to get the benefit of that 3-night savings anyway. The rest of the properties start accumulating this sale savings at 4 or more nights. Now, if you get the emails from Sandals or if you're just looking at the sale, you're going to see, 7 or more nights also gets 1 night free. If you look at the fine print with this sale, this is only for all of the butler rooms at Sandals Ochi, as well as butler rooms and the couple swim ups at Sandals Montego Bay. These are the only rooms where if you quote out 7 nights, you're going to get that 1 night free. And again, if you put in the numbers, it's already going to show up, including that price. This sale it's for new bookings, and it's going to go through April 20th. So we've got a month to get our bookings in and to take advantage of the free nights if you're looking to go to Ochi or over to Montego Bay, or this amount off of these rooms, as I talked about. Now, something to keep in mind, there are also 1 free night options available at other resorts and other room categories. You're mostly going to see this from butler rooms. And I'm not talking about the last minute deals. Last minute deals are something completely different. We've talked about it before. If you're looking to travel in the next 6 to 8 weeks, please reach out. Let me help you with those last minute deals because as we've talked about in the past, you have to arrive and depart on certain dates. And we want to make sure that you're getting the best savings for that. But there is a 1 free night option for staying 7 nights at Sandals Antigua, Sandals Grand St. Lucian, Sandals Regency La Toc, and Sandals Grenada. Those have rooms that are also stay 7 nights, get 1 free. It's not a part of this stay more, save more sale. The stay more, save more sale, you can apply this sale for bookings going for this year through next year as well. It goes through December 25th of 2027. So you can do a booking for next year and this stay more, save more sale will still apply. But these 1 free nights in Antigua and St. Lucia and Grenada, that is only for travel in 2026. So if you're still looking to plan a trip this year, and I have been booking a ton of trips recently still for this year, you can still get this 1 free night option if you're planning to stay 7 or more nights. But reach out because it's only certain room categories, and I want to make sure that you understand your options. Sometimes it's just a really you don't realize that if you pay just a minimal amount more, you're going to be in a much better room. And I can help talk you through that to make sure that you understand what makes the most sense for you. A lot of people come to me and they're like, I want the best deal. So we can talk about which rooms are going to give you the best deal within your price point. So those are not part of the sale, but they still apply for the free night. So that is the summary of the sale. That's the summary of the other resorts that you can get this 1 free night option. And then, of course, the 777 rooms changed yesterday. So we've got 7 new rooms that are an additional 7% off. I never know what the rooms are going to be. I have to look on Wednesdays just like you do. And then I go through and I look at my rooms that I have reserved for my clients and make sure nobody's prices changed or if I can adjust it down. But this week, we're now going back again to having a lot of more expensive rooms on the sale this week. So if you like butler rooms, if you like some of these more expensive rooms, it's a great week to book because there's a lot of butler options on 777. We've got butler options at Sandals Halcyon, which is in St. Lucia. It's the smaller resort in St. Lucia. At Sandals Royal Curacao, we've got a butler room. At Sandals Grand Antigua, we actually have a butler room this week. We've seen club and luxury so far, but now we've got a butler room there. At Sandals Barbados and Ochi. So Ochi, like I mentioned, has the option for the butler rooms all being stay 7 nights, get 1 night free. It's also on 777. So stack that up. Then the 2 other rooms are a club level room at Sandals Royal Bahamian. That's a swim up. So that's being a swim up. It's just going to be a little bit more expensive, but it's on sale this week if you like the swim up options. And then going down to Sandals St. Vincent club room, it's the club room that has the media room. So you have a separate room with a big TV. It's separate from the sleeping area. That's on 777 this week. It's a club level, but Sandals St. Vincent as a whole is just a more expensive property because it's the newest in the brand and it's very, very nice. So that's why I said like all of these rooms as a whole this week on 777 are the more expensive rooms, but it's a good overview. It's a good mix of properties. I don't anticipate seeing any Dunn's River for quite a while. I don't expect to see any of the South Coast or Royal Caribbean for a while on 777, just because now those openings are delayed till the end of the year. And I don't think they need to push any of those rooms at the moment because people are very excited to go. But as soon as they pop out, I will definitely be sure to point that out to you guys because those are probably going to go fast. I really like the butler options this week at Halcyon in St. Lucia. I've had quite a bit of interest in this resort recently for honeymooners. I think it's nice if you want a lot of quiet privacy. There's also the 2 other resorts in St. Lucia that you can go to for a little bit more excitement or more dining options. And Halcyon is right in the middle of those 2. So it's a great place to have like a home base and come back and relax. And then I'm also partial to Curacao. I do really love that property as well. But maybe a butler room is not something that's in your budget. Maybe that's something that you don't necessarily feel like you want or need to book, and that's totally fine. I can still help you making sure that you're getting all of the very best rates. You know, maybe you apply for the free anniversary night. Maybe you have a first responder discount. Maybe you need to add on that free honeymoon package. You know, there's a lot of different stuff. Having a travel advisor, certainly a good idea on any Sandals or Beaches trip that you booked. I don't think it's any more apparent than what just happened with everybody having to move rooms. My clients are all in really, really good shape and they weren't sitting on hold and we took care of them. So if you have interest in booking, if you have questions about any of these resorts, you want to see pictures of the rooms, maps of the property, talk to me about what you're looking for so that we can try to plan and make sure you're getting into the best resort for you, please reach out. I am happy to chat with you about any vacation or honeymoon or family trip that you are considering. I am no pressure at all, and I would just love to chat with you about your next vacation. I will put my contact info in the show notes. Please follow this podcast. Please, what do they say? Like it, review it, follow along. I don't know all the lingo, but do all the things. And then all of my social media handles are going to be in the show notes as well. Post a lot of stuff every week on TikTok and then some stuff on Instagram as well. So looking forward to hearing from you. Thanks for joining again this week. And I am actually going to, I'm going on a family trip with my husband, friend trip, I guess. So I am going to be traveling a bit. You probably won't hear from me on Monday, but you'll hear from me next week, Wednesday, for the next edition of the Weekly Sandals Sales Report. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.